Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome to Try It Thursday. Today I'm going to take you through step by step the tutorial to do the ink and water flow similar to the video I showed you earlier on Monday. So here is what I'm going to use today. Painter's tape, Canson watercolor paper, a 9x12. This is 140 pound or 300 gram, which means it just can handle a lot of water and it's good for this kind of application. And then I'm going to use, I just got this color, I'm super excited. All right, these are Daler-Rowney acrylic inks. Is that what we have here? Yes, pigment-based ink. So, acrylic ink, pigment-based ink, pigment-based ink. This is turquoise. Look how pretty that is. This is fluorescent pink. And this is Payne's Gray, which is a color I use in place of black. It's my favorite color. I love Payne's Gray. And then I'm going to use this iridescent calligraphy ink from Dr. St. Martin's, and this is a copper plate gold. So it's a yellowy kind of warmish gold. All right, I have here an old cutting board, excuse me, that I use to tape my paper to. The water will make the watercolor paper pucker and the tape will hold it, and then when it dries the paper does kind of go back to semi-flat, I guess. So laying it down. Also, if you put down the painter's tape, it will give you kind of like a white clear border around. And if you like that, kind of gives you a clean edge. I'm not really focusing on how thick this is right now because I'm probably not, I'm not really worried about it. I just want to put water down and ink and see what happens. All right. I'm gonna put some graphite down first because I love the way that the water catches it. And I'm going to use a number 10B and just make some shapes. One of the reasons that I make art like this is to help regulate my nervous system. I like to make repeated lines like that so that it's messy and I'm not focusing on perfectionism. I'm just focusing on making shapes. Now I'm going to use a large brush to flood these square rectangular shapes with water. So this is called a wet on wet technique. So I'm making the paper wet and then I'm going to add a wet ink to it. I'm moving some of the water because I don't want just massive pools. All right. And this is the fun part. I just drop ink. So, and let it do what it does. So fun. All right, the Payne's Gray, my favorite. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Look at that stuff move. So cool. Okay, now we're gonna throw a little heart attack in here, a little neon pink. Yes. Wait, I want a little drop over here. Okay, and then last, I'm gonna throw in the gold. It's a little more than I wanted, but hey, that is why this is like going with the flow. Okay. Okay, now I want to activate a little bit, and then I'm gonna move it around and see what happens. So this is just plain water, and I'm just spraying it directly in the gold. When I lift this and start moving it, I have this Viva paper towel. It doesn't have like grooves on it like a standard paper towel. It's just flat, so I use it to absorb the ink, and then I can reuse it in collages. So I'm gonna put this down here to catch it. And then I have this really cool double enamel tray that I work in. All right, let's go. Let's see what happens. I just absolutely love how the ink's kind of, ooh, got this little guy hanging out here. I'm gonna give him a little squirt. Look what's happening there. That's so cool. All right. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is use heat to dry it. I use this heat tool, Ranger. It doesn't blow. It blows a little, but it's not really going to blow this around a ton. And I'm going to dry spots because I want them to kind of stay. So I want to just stop right here. This is like a little bit of gold left. This is a micro brush. It doesn't really matter though. And I'm just going to break that up so it's just not kind of sitting there like a ball. Yeah. Okay, so now this is dry. You can come in here with ink, markers. You could use this as a background. You could draw black. I mean, there's tons of things you can do. I'm going to activate this ink a little bit more. And then I'm going to let it dry and see what it turns into. So there you go. Try it.